Hello everyone, I hope you all can hear me well, and let me welcome you on this webinar. The webinar is called MyQ Advanced Reporting via Microsoft Power BI. The webinar team consists of following people: myself, Michal Greppel, CBDO at MyQ, Dirk van der Mescht, the MyQ Product Marketing Manager, and we have the webinar external guest and specialist, specifically the CEO of DataBrothers, Maciej Ressel, and DataBrothers Power BI consultant, Tomáš Zelinka. Hello guys, can you hear me well?
Yes, thank you, Michal. Hello everyone, thank you for invitation.
Thank you. Hello.
Thank you, Tomáš. So guys, let me get to the main topic of what has to be what you can expect today. There are several questions which needs to be answered during this webinar. First of all, we would like to introduce what is Microsoft Power BI. What is this tool for? How you can use it for reporting? We would like to show how easily you can deploy new or existing template and connect with the MyQ reporting with the existing or new installation of Power BI. We would like to show you how to access the printing data in an interactive, advanced way via friendly visualized dashboards, charts, and graphs. And of course, if you are interested in the environmental impact of the prints, or let's say advanced view over floor plans, other stuff, you are on the good place. We will introduce you also advanced stuff which can be achieved via Power BI. Why we partnered company DataBrothers? So DataBrothers are actually professionals in the area, and they will introduce themselves in detail. However, these are skilled, fresh, flexible company who is focusing on the reporting for a long time, and we decided to enhance our, let's say, solution offering and service offering to our customers by involving professionals in our business. You can see that already in the past regarding where we partnered a security organization performing the penetration test and who is the advisor of the security approach of MyQ organization and MyQX product. And for the reporting, we invited DataBrothers as the professionals in the area. And more about DataBrothers will tell Maciej Ressel, who is CEO of DataBrothers. Maciej, please, stage is yours.
Thank you, Michal. Can you hear me, see me? Is everything okay?
Very well, thank you.
Perfect. So, hello everyone. Let me introduce DataBrothers as a company. We are IT consulting company, and the main focus is to look for hidden potential of company data and presenting them in Power BI, specifically in Power BI reports and dashboards. My co-founder, Stefan Ressel, and yes, he is my brother, that's the name, DataBrothers, was rewarded by Microsoft as a most valuable professional in Power BI in 2021 and 22. Hopefully in 23 will be the same. Anyway, we provide three types of services. First is obviously reporting in Power BI, where we focus on data business knowledge. So before we started working also with MyQ, we had to study more deeply what are the crucial entities and dimensions of printing business. So because we needed to know what we are talking about. Second, our area of our services is technological setup of PowerBI, PowerBI governance, optimization of data models, and data security. The last one is connected to trainings and mentorings of PowerBI. Company as a whole, we also have, I would say, every Power BI certification that exists. And we are also ISO certified for data security. So that was the brief introduction of DataBrothers. And now it will be up to Michal again.
Thank you very much, Matej, for the introduction and welcome in this session. We are happy to have you here. Now we will tell you more about what is actually standard reporting in MyQ, available as MyQ offers reporting as well. But we would like to highlight the differences between the MyQ standard reporting and reporting in the Microsoft Power BI. Dirk, the stage is yours.
Hello, hi everyone, and welcome to this webinar. From my side, Dirk van der Mest. I'm happy to tell you a bit more about MyQ reporting, and then we'll switch over during the discussion. We'll go over and have a look at what Power BI can offer for us. So with MyQ, we can offer a comprehensive set of standard reports. Now, these reports are quite essential component in print management, and customers require data to provide them with insight to their print environment, user behavior, and how the printers perform in terms of their printing environment. So with MyQX, we make it easy for customers to retrieve this data. We've got a standard set of report templates. Reports can be generated based on several categories, such as alerts and maintenance, green reports, also known as environmental reports, statistics related to printers, users, and their behavior. In addition, you can also get numerous other reports and data related to printing cost, departmental cost centers, quotas, credits, etc. With MyQX, our reports are highly customizable. You can select and apply several filters depending on your requirements or your needs. And these reports can then be generated manually when and as needed, or it can be automated and scheduled to be delivered to a storage folder or via email, etc., depending on your needs and requirements. So with this data that we provide in the reports, customer can then use the information to make data-driven decisions based on their printing environment to enhance efficiency of service delivery, maintenance, the printer fleet, to optimize printer utilization. In areas you can see if some printers are being overutilized or even if they are underutilized. So these data can be used in many, many ways, and it can also motivate you implementing some policies to reduce cost or improve efficiency in overall. So in the following slides, I will show several examples of reports that was generated with MyQ, just to give you an idea. Here we have an example of an environmental report. This report is generated based on a list of predefined printers, and it displays analytics on the tree consumption, carbon dioxide usage, and then also the energy usage based on the printer, the paper consumption. The next report is a printer stop-in report, which, for example, can show you data on top used printers and their relating printing costs, for instance. So you can filter this according to certain parameters that you can apply. I also want to mention that several of our reports also includes various visualization in the form of charts. You can have a bar chart, a pie chart, or even a donut chart. Here we are looking at alerts, and in the alerts, you can easily retrieve data related to print devices, their status, error alerts, turn alerts, and so forth. So you can ultimately easily identify which devices are most problematic in your fleet. In addition to our MyQ reports, you can also configure your home dashboard, your MyQ home admin dashboard, to display several widgets that helps you to visualize data in the form of graphs. And this can ultimately give your administrators a nice quick overview of the status of the printing environment, print devices, top used printers, and most printing users that print the most. So it's a very nice addition to our MyQX product. So now I will hand over to my colleague Michael Greppel, which will tell us a bit more about Power BI.
Thank you, Dirk. Thank you for your introduction regarding what is possible in MyQ as a native regarding reporting. And I need to explain why we actually decided to partner with third party, and why we decided to offer to the customers using reporting via some third-party tool. Okay, the Microsoft Power BI is well-known BI tool, and from our perspective, it is especially for the customers who requires more data combinations that are available in the MyQ standard reports. Every installation might be very unique, and some customers might have very specific requirements about what needs to be reported. So from that reason, that the more suitable application might be the Microsoft Power BI. Microsoft Power BI, comparing to MyQX standard reporting, allows to generate custom and mainly interactive reports. The screen is live. You can live change values, make a different views, and all is adjusted for the nice user experience via these visualized dashboards. What else? Many customers are already using Microsoft Power BI with other data in the company. And for them might be easier to have one tool integrated for all data, including the print fleet. So that's the reason why we see, what reasons we see to use third-party applications, specifically the advanced Microsoft Power BI for such reporting. And by my own words, Microsoft Power BI is actually a tool which allows you nicely display different views on the structured data in interactive form via dashboard charts. You can check easily the history, different views on the devices, and all is very user-friendly. I will now hand over to Maciej, who is the leader of DataBrothers, and can give you real view on what is Power BI and why we should use Power BI.
Thank you, Michał. Thank you for the word. Maybe I would. I think it was a pretty good explanation what Power BI is. Maybe I would say it's just not about creating something nice, but also about processing data. But yeah, that's something you will see on the next slide. So why Power BI? It's simple, at least for us. Power BI is easy to implement and also easy to extend. It's accessible almost from everywhere. It has tools of 21st century. It's secured and can be, after some training, performed also from business side. So you don't need create reports just from IT developers or by IT developers, and you can do it by yourself. And if I may ask you for the next part of the slide, you will see there that according to Gartner, Power BI is the best data analytics tool. Here's 4 years, maybe it will be shortly in 5 years in a row, which is quite amazing because Power BI was released 7 years ago. So basically, after 3 years of existence, Power BI was the best data analytics and reporting tool according to Gartner. So it's quite cool. Also, with Power BI, you can connect and combine almost every data source, of course, including all MyQ databases. And you can put your reports, and I don't mean export of them, I really mean the live reports. You can put them to your web, SharePoint, Microsoft Teams, and even PowerPoint. So you can have your live reports in PowerPoint. Hopefully you'll see this in also in this presentation. So okay, I think that was why Power BI, and now I would like to show you how Power BI works. Basically, the first step is to import data, but before you import data, you need to have Power BI on your desktop. Basically, there are two ways how to get it. First are Microsoft websites. The second is Microsoft Store. Maybe there is a third way. You already have it on your PC from your company, so you just open the current version you have. Then you choose the proper data connector. You load the data from the MyQ database or any other databases. You create the data model. You connect the tables together. And if you want to calculate something, for example, you want to compare current year with the previous year, etc., you just calculate the measures. In Power BI, you use language called DAX. It's similar to Excel functions, a little bit difficult, but not so much. So fourth point is to create visuals. So you prepare the nice graphs, tables, charts, whatever you need. And then we are leaving Power BI desktop. So all the stuff you have, we call it publish it. You publish it to Power BI service, which is the second part of the Power BI. It's a web application, and you put all the stuff you created to this web application, which is where you can set up access to users, set up the security, and how often the data will be refreshed. So you do it once, and when you need the report again, you just visit the website. That's it, because you already taught Power BI what to do, how to connect, what to transform, how to calculate, how to visualize, and that's it. And Power BI service do it instead of you. So you do it once and it works forever, at least until you don't need any new features. The best part of it is that the point 1, 2, 3, and 4 we did instead of you, and Tomáš will be talking about it on the next slide or next slides. I don't know now. And you basically, it's a simplified way. You basically download the Power BI template, connect to your MyQ database, and publish it to secured web application, and you have your reports. We didn't mention that, but all the reports we created are for free. You don't need to pay anything for them. You just need to install them. So, as I said, you create it once and it works forever. And now, Dirk, you will tell us more about the reporting scenario, if I'm correct.
Yes, thank you, Mate. Excellent. So with MyQX, we can collect an extensive amount of data relating to your printing environment, users, print devices, etc. So to give you a brief overview of the data that you can retrieve with, via Power BI and the MyQX integration, we have summarized several categories based on some general use cases. So as you can see on this slide, we've got, and I will just briefly touch on each of them. We've got utilization. So you can basically, with this type of data, you can see which printers are overused, which printers are underutilized. You can see how the printer utilization compares across the fleet. And with this, you can make decisions in terms of optimizing wherever certain devices are placed. you have printing cost. So here you can see how much would be saved if users printed, for example, in duplex, double-sided, instead of single-sided. If users printed in mono, black and white, instead of color. You can see the print usage balance. What is the average usage of printers during the week, during specific days? You can fine-tune this with your parameters, as you can specify with your filters when you would like to see the data. We can provide you with printer analysis, which printer models are the most faulty, most expensive. You can see which devices produces the most error codes. So then you can for example, look at optimizing the service and maintenance for that specific device if you can determine that the device is, for example, not being over or underutilized. You can see your paper and toner consumption. Toner consumption is quite important. It's also good to see when certain devices of the same model, for instance, are using more toner than other, even though the volumes are the same. Very important these days. It's big in the printing industry. It's really that we need to focus about our environmental impact, what environmental impact our printers have on the environments, and how we can go about reducing that impact. So here again, we can show you with some data relating to your carbon dioxide, tree consumption, and obviously energy usage. Then we also have alerts analysis. And here again, you can see what type of alerts have been produced on your print fleet, what type of jobs, if there is some unresolved alerts, etc. You can then identify this.
And these are, let's say, as Dirk mentioned, the most common use cases we have identified, but we expect there will be much other. And the big advantage of course, Microsoft PowerBI and MyQ that it can be enhanced by some new views and new data. So we are ready for your feedbacks. It will be told on the end, and especially if you have some specific project where some other views or data are required, this is possible to enhance. And DataBrothers will tell about this a little bit later. Yeah, Dirk, back to you.
Right, thank you, Michael. So let's look on 3 areas that we will focus on. Obviously, due to time limitation, we will not be able to go in deeper in every single level, but I thought there is 3 categories that we can really look at and how that can help you, for instance. As Michael mentioned, obviously we collect an extensive amount of data related to your print environment. So these use cases might be useful for you, but there's also several other ways that we can produce data that can help you, your customers, your organization, in getting really good insight into what's happening in the print environment. So we'll have a look at alerts. So as I mentioned, MyQ extensively monitors and collects data relating to alerts, for example, to print devices. To name a few examples, alerts can be triggered by print devices due to errors, service codes, consumable alerts related, for instance, to an empty toner, and so forth. So why is this data important? This type of data is valuable for an organization as it will provide them with insight into the performance of the printing fleet, highlighting problem devices, areas where devices are overused, and potentially devices are underutilized. This data can then be used to optimize the fleet, improve service delivery, consumable management, and as a result, you can reduce downtime and you can optimize on printing costs that you can save. Then the next one we're going to focus on is reporting related to cost. So when it comes to cost, I think this is vital for every organization to manage cost, especially cost related to printing. If not correctly managed, cost of printing can have unwanted financial impact on your operational cost. It's really an area where if you do not manage the cost that you are spending in your printing environment, it can really affect your operations. MyQ, again, extensively monitors and collects data related to printing cost as well. And this data can be used to give an organization insights into printing behavior, cost related to users, department costs, costs related to cost centers. There are many combinations that you can retrieve costs from. And this data can enable the organization to implement cost-saving print policies, such as defaulting all print jobs to mono, double-sided, or even implementing advanced accounting options like quotas or credits to limit the amount of color printing that the users can print. Right. So the next area that we will focus on is reporting related to the environment. So when it comes to the environment and environmental impact, MyQ can provide customers with green reports, or let's say data as well, known as environmental reports. These reports can then provide customers with an insight into the environmental impact of their printing behavior, of the user's printing behavior, of the printing environment. And MyQ can provide customers with data based on consumption, based on trees, carbon dioxide, and energy usage. This data can be very insightful, and it can aid organizations to optimize print policies, to promote environmental responsible printing, to promote responsible user behavior. So you can implement policies that not only save costs, but in the end, it also helps save the environment.
I will maybe add that we are facing experience that around every second public tender is actually having a requirement that the solution must fulfill the environment reporting. So this becomes a standard in MyQ internal reporting, but also standard in this PowerBI template. One additional point to what was told, important is that the print-related data or user-related data are not leaving your organization. That was mentioned at the beginning that we are gathering the data. No, the solution is gathering data and storing in the database. You are actually using a tool to present and access your data, but your data are not leaving the organization. I would now ask Thomas for the live demo he prepared regarding introducing the template itself. And I believe this might be quite interesting that you can see the interactive part of all of it. Thomas, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Thank you. Stage is yours.
You are muted.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, and we can see live demo slides.
All right. So everything works well. So hi everyone, also from my side. To be honest, I would like to say it's amazing to be here. I mean this partnership with MyQ. We really enjoy it because there are so many interesting scenarios of what can be reported. All right, let's move on directly onto the report. What we have prepared for you, as Dirk already mentioned, are three main areas: alerts, costs, and environmental impact. What's interesting here? What you can see, the report is embedded live directly into PowerPoint presentation. It's one of great Power BI features. I love it. And it's great. You can just include it into your presentation. And as you can see, it's live. I can click somewhere, and the report dynamically changes. But before we dive deeper into the report itself, what is the page we are looking at about? We are looking at overview of unresolved alerts. There on the top left corner, we can see how many unresolved alerts we currently have. On the bottom right side of the page, we can see that detail of those alerts. On the top right side on the page, we can switch between critical, high, and warning alerts. So you can easily click the critical and or high, and the report visuals changes. So the interactions between the visuals is something that's really powerful in Power BI. What we are looking at right now, we are focusing just on high alerts. We have 3 high alerts. On the detail table, we can see the name of those alerts, their criticality, which is obviously high because we are filtered it, and we see when did the alerts happen. We also see the specific printers, so and their address, so we can go to solve the alerts, you know, the issues with the printers. And we also see if it is needed to be resolved by some trained professional or not. I can cancel this filter and let's look, for example, at September. Okay, if I click the September, I see some that Wednesdays are somehow there were more alerts than in other days on average, and I can then ask why. What's the reason? Were there some events, or what's the reason? Maybe what I haven't mentioned yet, and what I haven't mentioned yet is that I'm sorry, I'm sorry, it was my mistake. You can see, sorry, just you can see some alerts are highlighted and the others are not. It's just because we are focusing primarily on unresolved alerts. Those that are not colored are already resolved, so that are not interesting for us anymore. What else we can see here is, for example, the most problematic printers. I can easily choose the printer and identify when did the alerts happened, identify which printers are the most have the most alerts, and so on and so on. Yes, I can also switch between the time dimension. So we are now looking at the year 2021. And so on. There are many possibilities. Mate, do you have any idea of what can be shown?
I think you described it perfectly. Everyone maybe choose another or find another scenarios how to utilize this report. There are several interactive ways how to show the data. It's just easy to click on basically anything, and you cross highlight or cross filter the rest of the report. When you hold the control button on your keyboard, you can do it in several graphs. For example, when Tomáš clicked on the September and then clicked on the Wednesdays, you have all Wednesdays in September, for example. So feel free to find your scenarios, and Tomáš, move on.
Thank you, Maciej. What I just forgot to mention is that the values don't have to make sense right now, because it's just the dummy data test data. So just let you know. The other area we have prepared is focused on cost overview. The main value is that you can see the cost overview over these areas, over these different domains, over printers, groups, sites, projects, or jobs. If right now we are looking at printers, we have 15 printers in this period. We see cost year to date, and average cost of printer, and many other useful informations. Here on the top right corner there is a line chart where you can see costs of the current year in comparison with cost of the previous year, or with cost for last 12 months. So that's pretty useful to be able to compare such easily between the periods. What's good visual is this on the top on the bottom right corner. You can have for example 100 printers, but you can see that only 4 of them are the most expensive in regards of cost. Understand? You understand what I'm trying to say. If I switch to another dimension, I see the costs over groups, and that's the same principle also for sites and projects. But if I switch to jobs, you can now see that there is a different view. You can see the cost for your formats of the prints of the jobs, over your job type, over duplex, simplex, and monocolor print. Yeah. Maciej, is here something you would like to mention also before I move onto the environmental page?
No. Just maybe we are running out of time, so the last one will be should be very quick, so we can.
Sorry guys, I maybe just want to mention something about price list. Thank you for the great intuitive presentation so far. I just want to mention for everyone that's here that's maybe not that familiar with MyQ, in terms of pricing and cost, you might question where do we get these prices from? How are these costs calculated? So it's very simple. With MyQX, you can create price lists and associate them with specific individual devices based on their consumable consumption and service costs, etc. So these price lists can be generated within MyQ and then assigned to printers. And as usage is accumulated on that specific printers, it gets recorded in the database and associated with the price list. And that's how we actually generate a cost that you are able to see in a visual format here in the PowerBI. Thank you.
Thank you, Dirk. So let's just quickly move on to the environmental impact page. The main aim is to show us if or to answer the question if we print responsible. We can see what how to say, there is one view if we print with MyQ or without MyQ. We know MyQ use some policies to, for example, print duplex whenever possible and so on. And those policies can have a really a big environmental impact at the end. So because we are running out of time, so just showing you the reports this quickly, and we can go on. So maybe it was already mentioned, but I can tell it again. Say it again. The template you have just seen will be freely available for you to download and see the visuals over your own data. But the question is how to deploy the solution. All of you have some printers, obviously, maybe some site servers or only one server side. And what's important to mention that there are two ways. You have MyQ Fiber database or MyQ SQL database right now, and it's really easy to connect it with this Power BI report. You just download it from the MyQ website, connect it with the data, and consume the report over your own data. There are quick showcase, or where you can find the template, where you will be able to find the template in the near future. It's simply in MyQ documentation. So as was mentioned, it will be free to download. Just that simply. Maybe there is one of the possible option was connection over ODBC connector. It's maybe it looks difficult, the screen, the video, but it's definitely not. You just via a start option find the ODBC connection setup, and just fill the name of your database and your password, and then as you can see on this last video, then just open the downloaded template of Power BI and give it a name of your ODBC connection. It's just it's just really quick and simple, and you in the report will show you your own data. So maybe I would like to get the word to Maciej, and we can move on with the presentation.
Thomas, thank you for the Power BI showcase. I think you can see that implementation of the template is quite straightforward, quite easy. Everything will be described at MyQ documentation, or you can ask us in question and answers. So the template, as you see it now, it's just the first step. And what comes next? If some of you or your clients wants to, we can add almost every visualization you come up with. We are planning implement floor plans from the new version of MyQ. We'll be able to get toner consumption, so you can also like analyze not just paper consumption and also toner. You can also play some suspicious behavior. For example, when somebody who never used a printer, I don't know, 2-3 days before his offboarding process started, printed tons of papers. I think it's not okay, and many scenarios. You can also have a plans to, for example, reduce printing or reduce color printing in the next year by 50%, for example. So you can play some plan versus reality comparison scenarios and many more. So, and if you come up with one of these scenarios, and I ask Michal for the next slide. So what to do when you want a new feature of MyQ Power BI reports? Best way is to let us know, of course. Contacts will be shared on the next slide. After we receive your requirement, we'll discuss it with MyQ, and if we have all available data, so after approval, we send you an offer to for your requirement. We take the last Power BI template, implement your request, and send you the new version of Power BI template for testing. And after that testing, we publish this new version with the new features and reports pages for everyone back to MyQ website. So I think we can move to the last slide.
Yeah, Maciej, I would like to add here. Thank you very much for this.
Okay, sorry.
I think this is I'm pretty excited about that, because this is great opportunity for you as our partners to, let's say, adopt these templates to the projects you might have now, or some projects in the future. And we can actually build up the experience and the solution, which that could be really unique regarding the print fleet reporting, by all these possible use cases from different scenarios. And again, we would like to use it to, let's say, grow our community of let's say, MyQ fans and Power BI fans. Thank you, Maciej. Your place.
Perfect. So this is the last slide from DataBrothers. If you have any requests, or if you will have any requests regarding to implement the new features, or you need to assist with the implementation, don't hesitate to contact us. Of course, you can contact us with everything connected to Power BI. And if you want to be contacted when a new version of MyQ Power BI template is released, please scan the QR code you are seeing right now and subscribe to DataBrothers newsletter. So thank you for your attention from my side. Hope you like the demo, and now I will ask Michal for the presentation wrap up.
Thank you, Maciej, very much for that. So one more information in the chat. You can see the information in the case you wish to be contacted by DataBrothers regarding the Power BI questions. Please write down your email. It will not be seen by the rest. The chat is hidden. However, we will lock your request and you will be contacted after. Regarding summary of today's webinar, so we try to explain what is MyQ standard reporting. So it means inbuilt tool, reporting tool in MyQ, mainly offering the static reports. Maciej did the explanation what is Microsoft Power BI. Tomasz was saying how to connect MyQ databases with the Power BI installation, existing or new installation. They explained as well how to deploy a free MyQ Power BI template. I'd like to remind you, this is a free. We have been working on this almost a half a year to build it together with all the story behind, and this is available or will be available very soon with the version of 10.1 release, which is now in beta 4 and is coming to be RC in around 10 days from now. And we were also able to explain you how to customize and create creative reports and dashboards, and of course how to deal with the new requests because definitely when you open this topic with the customers, you might be asked for some modification, enhancement as well, depending on the customer knowledge and competence. Again, DataBrothers are ready to support you in specific projects. We are supporting them, and the main point is, and the main idea behind this is to create this MyQ and PowerBI community when we can, let's say, deliver great user experience on the very end. So that's all from the webinar content. However, we still have a few minutes left, and we would like to ask you for questions. You can write in the QA chat, which is on top right icon behind this question mark in bubble. All the questions can be anonymous, or you can write down your name. And of course, when we will be able to answer your question, we will immediately. So I see already a list of questions. The first question is regarding whether this template works with the standalone. It means like just with the site server and the central server environment. And as there are differences in databases. So we kept the standalone and say central site and central databases in the same structure. There is a very minor difference which we can adjust the template a bit. So there will be templates both available for standalone and central. And regarding the difference in databases, in the case you are considering the difference between site and central, the differences are very minor. Only there is one more table regarding the site ID. So the structure otherwise stays same, and we will keep it the same. We are using special views for this, which stay unique across all MyQ versions. So that always with the old template, you should be able to access the new one. From now, we will be keeping the database views same for standalone, for site, for central, and across the versions. Okay, then we answered another question whether this is available for standalone version. Yes, it will be. Then yes, you can get the recording of the webinar. So we will provide the recording including the presentation. So don't worry, you will get it. Then we have a few questions regarding strictly Power BI. So I would like to ask Maciej and Thomas to read the questions. There is one question regarding mobile application. Second one is regarding the publishing report in the Power BI services, if the Power BI gateway is needed. So Thomas, Maciej, please, if you can answer these.
So I can see only one regarding to Power BI, but Michal, first one was about if the Power BI is available also on mobile phones. In the current version, yes, but you will see it quite small. So basically, what it maybe could be a new request, because Power BI can create also mobile layout. It's not responsive naturally, but it can be done. So we can talk about that more. That Power BI will be on your mobile phone, that you will just scroll up and see all the Power BI naturally. Toma, maybe other question to you. Here's a question about if you want to publish Power BI report into Power BI service, if it's necessary Power BI gateway.
It's not necessary if the data source is online, as I know. But if the data are not online, if the data source is not online, then yes, Power BI gateway has to be installed. if I'm not wrong.
Yes. Okay. I can see another. This is very good question. Can we use the Power BI with all MyQ versions? I think Michal, you should answer this question, or?
So, and again, it was relevant to the database views. So since now we keep the database view tables in the same structure. So from this version 10 further, you will be able to use same views, of course, on and this template for future. However, in the case there will be new items in the next version, you will need to update the template. Okay. There are another two questions, please. Maybe on Maciej again.
I can see them. Perfect. First one is once you have connected to Power BI, if the data are live when you view them. It depends on the settings of Power BI, because there are several licenses in Power BI, and if you have Power BI Pro license, you can set up actual or the refresh of the data 8 times per day. If you have Power BI Premium license, there are 48 refreshes per day. Or you can manually just click on the refresh of the data set, and then you will have the data refreshed. But I basically don't see so many scenarios when you need the data actual every single moment. If there is also, it's also scenario for Power BI, but it would be for further development. So that's this. And the last one, MyQ Python Power BI, can we go for it, or Python is not required? I'm not sure what do you mean, but in Power BI supports Python, processing data by Python, or some visualization by Python. There is a special visual for it. So if you want to enrich the template by yourself and adjust it, it's definitely supported. But when you want some adjustments or you want to download new version, you have to implement the changes again with the Python. So definitely you can use it. You can use Python.
All right, time is up. So it's exactly 60 minutes from the start of this webinar. So please don't hesitate to write more questions in the Q&A session, but we will answer these later by written, and you will receive the answers within the webinar wrap up into your email, including the recording and the presentation in PDF file from this webinar. So I would like to thank you, our DataBrothers partners, Maciej and Tomasz. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you for the invitation, Michal. It was fine.
I would like to thank you, Dirk, for his support a lot. Thank you very much, and thank you all of you have joined. We have seen almost 200 registered for this webinar, so this is a great number. And thank you very much. See you next time at the next webinar organized by us. Thank you, guys. Goodbye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.